Welcome back, adventurers. My name is Eli the Gamemaster, and this is a good day to die. Unfortunately, a couple of our heroes are not going to be able to meet for this week, and so what we're going to try to do is we're going to do a recap episode of the journey so far. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recount everything that has led up to where our adventurers are in the current process of the dungeon crawl. So, this, adventurers, is the journey so far. Our journey began in the city of Ambros, a quiet kingdom that resides in the northern verdant plains. It was created in the wake of the Orc Wars, when all the Orcan tribes united and rose up to take control of the kingdom of elves and men. Since then, the Belfast family has ruled over Ambros. Here lived a boy named Perrin Aristep, or Perry to his friends. Perry's father was a well-known man and held a prominent position in the king's court. So Perry lived a life of luxury, custom, and formal education. Perry was a precocious boy, learning mischievous habits from a halfling friend and spending most of his days being tutored by a stoic and emotionally distant father, and getting into trouble. Perry also lived by a strict set of rules laid down by his father, including, but not limited to, staying within the walls of the castle unless escorted, and always wearing a pair of rose-colored glasses. One fateful day, however, Perry's life of ease was abruptly shattered. It started with subtle things, like urgent marching of the guards and concerned whispers from the other councilmen. Then, the screams began. Cries filled the air from the surrounding kingdom and continued for days. Perry was unable to sleep, and no one was willing, or perhaps able, to explain to him what was happening. But to Perry's horror, he was able to see what was happening firsthand. A guard with black ichor streaming from his eyes, ears, and nose attacked Perry, but was stopped by a kind dwarven cook. As the black substance splashed onto Perry's protector, the boy watched in horror as in moments his savior became another victim of the strange substance. The cook attempted to kill Perry, as well, only to be burned alive by Perry's father, who had shown up just in time to save his son. Sadly, though, Perry saw the same thing begin to take over his father as well, like a spreading plague. In a moment of panic and urgency, Perry's father explained to Perry that he needed to find the 4 other keys, travel to Drimport, find High Lord Mayor Hawthorne, and stop what was happening. Without further explanation, Perry's father handed him a unique handy haversack that contained his spellbook, and even his ferret familiar, Robbie. And with a wave of his hand, he teleported Perry from the castle. Meanwhile, in the southern kingdoms of Haldren, a caravan of travelers were making their way to the capital city of Drimport. Along with the caravan traveled our other heroes. Damon, a brave, though down on his luck human swordsman, that had taken a job escorting a gnomish oracle and follower of the goddess Desna named Kava, her pet wolf Luna, and an odd plant she carried with her. Ragnar, a powerhouse of a human being from the northern tribes of the Lotharia mountain range, was with the inexplicable urge to travel. Manzarek, a Gripply druid, and his animal companion raptor named Rayado, who were traveling in search of an old friend who had gone missing. The group stopped to rest for the night, expecting to reach a checkpoint the following day. In the morning, however, the group awoke to find that Kava had been murdered, and that a mysterious traveler that had been with the caravan had gone missing. Suddenly, bandits attacked, led by an electric blue kobold and a handsome stranger. Just as the battle began, Perry appeared from nowhere and was forced into the fray. Our heroes emerged victorious and sent the kobold and stranger fleeing into a dimensional door. Perry explained to the group that his father told him he needed to go to Drimport. Moved by his story, the group welcomed him into their number. Kava's last wishes before passing on was for Damon to care for a moth egg that was attached to the plant she had in her possession. But to his surprise, it had hatched, and where there once had been a plant, now sat a mysterious purple caterpillar. The caravan continued on its way to the checkpoint, a place of rest and respite for travelers called the Blackberry Farms. It was here they laid Kava's body to rest and met one Dr. Isaac Tone, a friendly tiefling who explained to the group that the farm was being plagued by a giant. Dr. Tone had encountered this giant the night before and was able to reason with it, discovering that the giant was actually kind and gentle. It was being forced to steal from the Blackberry Farms by a group of kobolds. The giant explained that they had stolen baby from him. It would only keep it safe if he would steal more food for them. Dr. Tone asked the giant his name and learned that it didn't have one, so he chose a name befitting such a gentle creature, Bob. When asked for the meaning of the word, Dr. Tone said that it simply meant friend. Asking for help from the group, they agreed to help the doctor and rescue baby and rid the caverns of the kobolds. Venturing into the caverns, the group found traps, a dire bat named Squeaker, and carnivorous fungus. It was also here that the group for the first time witnessed Ragnar enter into a rage and reveal something disturbing about himself. As he raged, his eyes turned black and he showed signs of the same plague that Perry had experienced firsthand. After some pleading with the group to reserve judgment, Perry accepted his help, though he remained wary of the barbarian. After delving into the deeper parts of the Kobold Warren, they did battle with several groups of the kobolds until they finally found the chief. She revealed that the blue kobold was part of her warren but had vanished after exploring what she called the back door. She also revealed that Bob's baby was actually a stuffed teddy bear that brought him comfort when he was scared. Unwilling to surrender the toy or stop the kobolds' raids, a battle commenced. The group triumphed over the kobold leader, recovering the beloved stuffed animal and returning it to Bob. The group brought back the gentle giant to the Blackberry Farms, where they agreed to take him in and give him new service in life. Departing from the checkpoint, the doctor agreed to travel with the group and aid them in return for their help. Upon arriving to Drimport, the group took the caterpillar to the Desnian temple, asking them to watch over the seemingly mystical creature. At the same time, Perry and Ragnar sought an audience with the mayor. Upon entering the hall, they were turned away and unable to secure an audience in the foreseeable future. It was then that a strange half-elf who introduced himself as Melquaw Hawthorne, a black sheep son of the Elven High Lord, approached the two heroes. He used his charm and a little magic to sneak the boy and barbarian into a meeting room where the mayor conversed with his council. It seemed they were contemplating heading into Ambros to discover who no one had heard from the kingdom in over a week. Perry, making himself known, pled for their help, to which the mayor reluctantly agreed to give in a few days' time. Unable to discern the council's true intention with Ambros, Perry and Ragnar left to join the group. Melquaw revealed that his father would be attending a play that he was producing, and the group would be able to discuss the proffered aid. In the meantime, Melquaw asked for a favor in exchange for his help. He asked the group to visit the old royal cemetery where a magical flute that once belonged to an old bardic king had been hidden and bring it back to him. The group agreed and set out for the magical relic. Upon arriving at the cemetery, they discovered that Manzarek's missing friend had been seen there. They discovered a secret tunnel that led deeper beneath the city and into the sewerways. Following it in pursuit of the missing druid and the magical wind instrument, our heroes discovered a talking skull, hidden traps, and were set upon by a group of pirates, the leader of whom was one of the mayor's counselors, a human named Merrill. Ready to do battle, the group was unexpectedly rescued from possible catastrophe by Damon's younger sister, Tamris. She pled for their lives and asked Merrill to spare them. Merrill agreed, though ordering that the group be kept captive until the next day. It was here in the depths beneath the city that the group realized they were beneath the Desnian temple and under the influence of the magical caterpillar. Beset by dreams, the group began to have visions of events from their past. Manzarek dreamed of his old friend Darren, a ratfolk druid who helped him rescue and adopt Rayado. Ragnar saw visions of his tribesmen and his only baby brother attacked by the same black ichor that now plagued Ambros, which then became visions of another version of himself, one horrific and twisted by the same dark substance that dripped from his body. It offered Ragnar power and strength beyond what he would normally be capable of, if only he would rage. Dr. Tone had visions of war in an unfamiliar place. He was addressed as Daka Izathoth, and was in an elaborate laboratory with a female human that seemed to be part of a creation of his own making. His lab was attacked by the same man that had accompanied the Blue Kobold during the bandit raid. He fought back, allowing his assistant to flee. as he set a trap that killed him and everyone in the room. Perry had visions of his father. His father traveled with a small band of adventurers in search of the same keys he was told to find. His father, however, seemed a completely different man. He was kind and soft-spoken, and even appeared to be in love with a tall blue woman that had command of the very air around her. They spoke in private as she revealed she was pregnant, but before they could celebrate, they were attacked by a nightmare dragon that had been pursuing them for some time. Both sides suffered heavy injuries, but the dragon eventually fled, leaving the group to lick their wounds and plan their next steps. After awaking from these visions, yet another member of the mayor's council greeted the group, a serpent folk named Zaltirvum, who seemed to be a powerful magic user and was the owner of the talking skull that traveled with the group. She asked to speak with Perry concerning his father and Ambrose. She seemed to know more about his father than even he did. But before she could reveal the extent of her knowledge or intentions, Meryl interrupted with a peremptory command. She wanted the group to travel deeper into the catacombs. She claimed she would set them free if they would be willing to open a blocked passage and deal with some of her men that had defected. And it is here that we have left off, and this, adventurers, has been the journey so far. Thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you next time.